3, 2. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another thrilling episode of Geeks in Space. 155. I full house of would you?
Yes.
Boom.
Hi, and I'm Chris DeBona. Hi, everybody.
So the first thing that we have to on the menu for this week is a little bit of sad news. Thinkgeek, near and dear to everybody on this chat's hearts, shutting down their .com.
Yeah, and I guess what they're going to retain bricks and mortar stores under the Thinkgeek brand, but the items will be sold online under the GameStop brand. Did I get the details of that correct? I think.
Yeah.
So, but this means that there were bricks and mortar stores. I didn't know that.
There was. Yeah. And the deep irony here is that, I mean, back when they had started, of course, they were online only. And then when we got all the gear from them at the beginning, including the shattered glasses, but so thank you, Thinkgeek crew. Now the remainder of it will only be on like a bricks and mortar store. That's just deeply ironic to me. But Thinkgeek ends up as a mall storefront.
It's weird.
Well, it's really just like a kiosk inside a GameStop inside a mall storefront.
Right.
You know, like pour one out for Willie and the guys and the gals and Jen and Phrase, who's probably watching this. He's one of our few subscribers, you know.
Love you, Phrase.
Yeah. I wonder how much of the world's remaining Perl code is going to be pulled offline when Thinkgeek takes down their
at least half of it. At least half of it. Actually,
I do feel like former Andover properties represent the bulk of the actively executing Perl code on the internet.
Mm-hmm. I know that it's a little upsetting to talk about Slapshot in this venue, but you can't possibly miss having to deploy slash to code.
Look, man, I outsourced that. I made poor Pudge and Jamie do it.
All right, let me point something out here. I think it was like the 2002 or 2001 Australia Linux Conf EU. Bates is like, hey, I have to do this how-to on how to install /code. Can you do it? Got to go. Bye. And I'm like, sure. How hard can it be?
No, you should not do that.
And it was an hour and 15 minutes of just pain on stage in 99-degree weather with like 190% humidity, and just installing module after module and rebuilding CPAN modules after installing them, because that's how it worked. And it was just, I wanted to kill Jeff.
Yeah, I think that goes down as one of my best delegations that I've ever done. I didn't have to fly. I didn't have to do the installation. I didn't have to do the talk in the hot weather.
Oh, no. And they put us up in the dorms, and it was, I kid you not, 100 degrees inside. And I'm sitting there lying, trying to evaporative cool. And like I hear zzz, zzz, and I'm like, I'm out. And I went to this hotel, and I just basically stayed in the hotel for the next 3 days.
And then I think I went to that show last year, and it was after the table that Horns and Rasser and I were at, that then they made a change that there would no longer be limitless bottles of wine at the final dinner, because I think we had 24 of the table, and we went through 36 bottles of wine.
That's making a difference.
Throne that they were selling for a while.
Oh,
imagine. I mean, that was like, I think they put that out like in season 2, and as big as Game of Thrones got now, we could rent that thing out to parties.
Yeah.
What kid doesn't want to be in the Iron Throne for their birthday?
Right, and it's unmelted.
Yeah, exactly.
High quality polycarbonate resin.
That's true. I'd be considered it's an artifact now that the original's been melted. Oh, should I have said spoiler before I said that?
Spoiler.
Oops.
No, the thing that I always loved is, you'd like have to get something for somebody, like some random present, and you'd have to pay, whatever the 20% or 10% discount was, and then you'd immediately go to the T-shirt section, and it was like, all right, I'll that one and that one and that one and that one and that one, and they'd be like $2 a shirt, so you just like pile all in, and then you'd have a pile of T-shirts in your house to give to anybody who needed one, or to postpone laundry indefinitely, like say for the 2000s.
Yeah.
Is this too geeky? Can we go around and say what our favorite Thinkgeek t-shirt was?
They sold my Don't Fear the Penguins shirt for a while.
That's
I
true.
might have a bias there.
So
I really liked the Haynes manual for the NASA shuttle. That was
cool.
That was a good one.
Yep.
For me, it was one that I suggested to Will and Jen, right? And it was, no, I will not fix your computer. I had just come off the phone with my family. And so I was like, can you please make the shirt for me?
That is a classic canonical one.
Yeah.
I like.
I can take this much credit for it.
Yeah, the caffeine one, which I think they were one of the
that was a
first people
classic
to do that. Because now, of course, you see it everywhere, and there's jewelry made from it. But in 1998, it hadn't occurred to anyone that the chemical formula for caffeine might make a good T-shirt.
Good times, man. Nate, we were talking about handhelds. Did you see the aluminum Freeplay?
No, I'm behind on my Taco Zone.
So somebody's putting out, it's some service that mills aluminum bodies for mobile games, and I think their main deal is making like replacement shells for Game Boys.
Nice.
But they are selling a aluminum shell for the Freeplay, and this is for the you can buy the CM3. The Raspberry Pi compute board or whatever, and they've got all the stuff in there. So if you need like the most expensive possible portable Raspberry Pi, that's definitely the way to go. I think all in it'd be like $350 or something, maybe 400. So like the price of like 5 or 6 PSPs on eBay.
I'm sure you could make it more expensive.
Yeah, you could get it anodized with like a gold plate,
Yeah, you're only milling it out of aluminum. You're not milling it out of meteorite or anything.
Right. You could hire someone to press each button, like different people for each button.
Or you could bedazzle the entire thing using precious and semi-precious stones.
Well,
I'm excited about all of these options. I've been wanting to build one of those for a while, but it's just the price point is just not like worth it. But I kind of want to do it anyway, just because I've been playing on my PSP, and a lot of even Super Nintendo games run at a low frame rate on the PSP. Like it's not even muscular enough to play Super Mario World without dropping frames.
Upgrade to a Vita. It has built-in PSP emulation, and you will. The Vita is the much better machine in that platform, and they are also highly discounted right now.
Is that a get them on eBay used kind of situation, or do they still exist in real stocks?
They exist in real stocks.
I'm going to have to file the formal expense request with the CFO of the family. She has strong opinions on these matters.
Well, I mean, Rob, have you considered making a wood one and then just lining it with Kapton tape?
I absolutely have, but any sort of quality thing would be like a CNC milling sort of situation if I wanted to get something like precise enough. And I'm really only interested in like doing handheld stuff for the most part. Like that's the wood tools I like to do. I don't need to.
I don't know, man. I mean, given the pens and the stoppers and the rest, you do a lot of lathy things, but
Does anybody need a bottle stopper?
No,
right?
I would like to use this moment to once again tell you that a YouTube channel called Rob Makes Square Things Round is a YouTube channel that you should make.
It's like Will It Blend, but with strange materials on my underpowered lathe.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm that's right on my to-do list. As soon as all the busy things keeping my actual life busy right now are taken care of, I'll get right on the Making Square Things Round channel.
Yeah, I mean, what we should do is we should each have our own individual channel, and then we come together and report, and then like a Voltron, And
I was going to say, Geometry Voltron. That's what it comes down to. All right, cool. I call isosceles triangle.
An outform of the head.
But whatever we decide is our main weapon, we should just use that right away instead of screwing around.
I'm with you.
Thank you.
Draw the sword.
Gonna go ahead and form blazing sword right away.
For our viewers, our listeners, our friends, this is a callback to the Witchblade conundrum, which we brought up in our host coordination chat regarding Jessica Jones. My problem with Jessica Jones is, it's actually, I like season 1 really quite a bit, but like she doesn't Jessica Jones enough. Where's the punchy? Where's the powers? Right? It's like Witchblade problem all over again. I haven't seen season 3 yet.
With every Netflix Marvel show is that they hold their powers in such reserve because they're trying to keep it, grounded in whatever sensibility they have. So I feel like maybe she throws a dude in an episode. So I've seen the first 2 episodes of season 3.
How's it going?
The struggle with that show is that the acting is very spotty. But I so do enjoy the grizzled, hard-boiled noir style that they're going for. Like, I feel like that's really fun. But the acting, man, like half of the characters on that show, I'm just like, oh, if they just would have cast somebody just a little bit better, I would have enjoyed this tremendously.
Well, I guess so I love Daredevil. I've been on the record of this through many episodes. So I love their version of Daredevil, not the Batfleck one, the other one. And it seems like his superpower that was exercised in every single episode was getting his ass completely kicked. That guy, he was always beat up. I'm like, there's no amount of ibuprofen that is going to solve this problem.
But of all the Netflix shows, the Daredevil has the specific advantage of he gets into a costume and fights somebody. So it's like you have a moment now for the next 5 minutes. I'm going to see my superhero fight a dude. And none of the other shows really do that.
Yeah.
Also, as we discussed, his powers are more, like reasonable.
Yeah,
Luke Cage is basically
are
Superman who doesn't fly. So, him fighting a gang is ridiculous. Where Daredevil basically has sonar and he has super agility. So.
Well, he also has a third power, which is a difficulty with the Catholic Church, which, I get. Yeah.
But they didn't bring that so much in until like Kevin Smith era, like early 2000s, right?
Yeah. I guess.
I don't know. Was Frank Miller Daredevil like all super Catholic?
Well, the whole point of Daredevil was that he was super Catholic, right?
I don't remember that.
I think there were other points in Daredevil other than Catholicism.
He's a devil.
It wasn't purely doctrinal.
Wait, was this when Philip Pullman was writing Daredevil?
I don't remember him nailing up his problems with the church on the wall or anything. I missed that episode.
Daredevil's 99 Theses.
Right.
Martin Luther King Devil.
Daredevil riding on a talking armored polar bear. That is a Daredevil that I would watch.
Yeah.
Sam.
Well, you watched the other one.
No.
So if a couple of folks on the call want to mute for a brief moment, I just wanted to laugh about Genius.com. I don't know if
you don't.
You guys need to stay alive. Genius.com and Google are in a little thing about lyrics and where the lyrics on their various websites might have originated. And the thing that is the most awesome about this is that Genius alleges that they have put the lyrics in their database using the apostrophes, alternating between the curly apostrophe and the straight apostrophe, with the apostrophes then spelling out in Morse code red-handed. And this is their technique to catch pirates. And I find that to be the most hysterical thing that you could possibly do in that context.
It does seem highly unlikely that would happen by chance, if everything is true.
Allegedly.
Listen, all I'll say is that, listen, I'm
giving you the chance to keep your yip shut.
No, it's fine. Listen, if we screwed up, we'll fix it. If it's really us, mixing up the knowledge graph libraries for, stuff we found during our crawl versus what we, legally paid probably a crap ton of money for, we'll fix it, but if not, we won't,
Regardless, the idea of stenographically hiding
that's pretty cool.
messages in your copyrighted material is really, really funny. I wish that I would have thought of it, because that is so freaking clever.
Well, we did think of it, so
I'm a little confused though, because Genius is a website that takes other people's lyrics and puts those on their website. So what's the copyright there? Is it like is it like notating music that someone else plays or something?
Right. They say this is as heard by us. We're not saying that these lyrics are right. They're just, this is what we think he's saying.
This is
like while they kiss this guy. Yeah.
Very remarkable apostrophes.
Or what's the Seal song that
it says every single one has like this music represents the interpretation, not or whatever. They always have like a weird justification for stealing guitar chords.
Yeah, I haven't been to Genius in a long time, but I think it was about 4 years ago where they finally, got sued enough that they ended up paying some rights organization for lyrics. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
So the other big shocker, Facebook is going to do their own crypto coin.
It's a tethered stable coin.
Stable coin. So what are they tethering it to? Like Mark Zuckerberg's holdings in Facebook stock?
No. So if you read the announcement,
every time they add a new page to it, the value of the coin will go up.
And
that's how it works.
And why don't they call it Facebucks? Come on.
No, Zuckbucks. Zuckbucks.
Zuckbucks. I was actually I read the thing, and the headlines that I had read were saying, some of them were saying Facebook and some weren't mentioning Facebook, and you actually had to scroll a pretty long ways down that page before you got to the word Facebook prominently displayed.
Yeah, and they'd mentioned that each of the 27 or some subset of the 27 initial partners all had to drop 10 million into a bank in some Switzerland bank that they created as the backing financial structure for the stable Tether coin, which is pegged to 10 currencies. And I'm just and a friend of mine who it was Danny Berlin. He's like, hey, it's United Miles without United.
No way, it's backed by Zuckbucks. It's fine.
It's Zuckbucks. Yeah.
I mean, I know we've over the years tried to ICO a lot of different coins with varying degrees of success.
Mm-hmm.
Potter coin, Cowboy Neil coin, Cowboy coin.
Every coin possible, and it's weird that none of us have really got super rich off of all these ICOs.
Well, I mean, I am extremely rich in blow up the I've got 100 billion of them. So
I've got some Satoshis to put in the swear wallet.
I am Satoshi.
This wasn't in Taco Zone, but there was this rash of SMS two-factor authentication attacks against prominent Bitcoiners. I know some folks lost 300 grand worth of BTC, and basically people there was somebody, I guess, inside AT&T who was redirecting SMS, and so people were doing the whole two-factor authentication scam and taking over Coinbase accounts. And it was a big deal for people who believe in, Dunning-Kruger-Ans. So, yeah.
I don't know. I have a whole host of mixed feelings about the cryptocurrency thing in general. I do not like the fact that we are essentially consuming the amount of electricity of the nation of New Zealand in order to store data, which could be stored on a single cell phone's flash RAM. I mean, this isn't we're not talking about massive amounts of data here. It's kind of depressing.
Yeah. I mean, at least, you know what? The Libracoin, so they say that they're not doing the whole mining thing, so they shouldn't waste all the energy. But I noticed they're also using the little tilde, 3 tildes, which I think is, was that water in the Fifth Element?
Which, I don't know which wiggly stones they pulled out of the Blue Lady represents Libracoin.
Okay, I'm going to find this out.
So the fourth, the elements were earth, water, fire, and Facebook Libracoin.
Yeah.
Backed by Zuckbucks.
I have to tell you, I love that there's 14 Etsy shops selling the Fifth Element stones. I am so going to buy these crap. crappy things.
It seems like that's the first thing that you would do if you had a 3D printer is just print out a bunch of Fifth Element stones.
This reminds me of the time you bought the DeLorean Motor Club jacket.
I was so cool.
No, Chris did, and then I ended up with it because I believe, quote, I ordered it on a whim and never wore it.
There's a new DeLorean documentary out that I've been meaning to watch.
Is it made entirely out of cocaine? Because that seems
no. But like the reviews, it's called Framing John DeLorean, and the reviews are that they use reenactors apparently, which has limited or different results, I guess.
Well, I guess it depends on who the reenactors are, and where you get them from.
Maybe they should have called it Gullwing Framing John DeLorean. See what I did there?
Or stainless steel framing. Because if you're gonna make a time machine, why not do it with some style? I actually, speaking of old weird 80s movies, I saw Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark on an actual movie theater screen this weekend.
Oh yeah, I saw you posted about that.
It was hey, you got a person peeking at you, Chris. It was kind of amazing to see how well so many of these special effects hold up. I mean, it really is, the 80s special effects. It's like when they really hit their stride. The Empire Strikes Back era special effects.
Yeah, but except for the face melting, though.
Oh, see, I loved it.
Special effects.
I think that's too scary for.
Or that tricky,
I actually watched a documentary afterwards where they actually broke down exactly how they did that effect, and it was pretty neat. They had they built a skull, and they had basically Jello that they painted, and then they heated it up with heat guns, and then recorded it with like over a 15-minute span in order to get it. I mean, I don't know. There's a warm fondness in my heart for the special effects that actually required that much love to put together. And my kid actually super enjoyed that part, so that's cool.
Yeah, I figured the people who used to do all those decorative candles, like with the mushrooms and everything, that they just found their new work building that face and then the slow melt. You know
that Kathleen worked at Dutch Village at carving candles for a summer. Yeah. My favorite thing about she has a great many stories about that, most of which make you very sad for humanity. But my favorite was that they were the one store in Dutch Village that wasn't required to wear wooden shoes because of the melted wax on the floor. If you wore wooden shoes, people were slipping and seriously hurt. So they got to wear tennis shoes. And really, if you're going to wear tennis shoes at Dutch Village, it's really going to break the whole illusion that you've been transported magically to hundreds of years ago Netherlands.
Well, can I ask a question? Y'all know this world way better than I do. So 200 years ago in the Netherlands, were there candles?
So the candles were technically a German thing. The style, it's not really a traditional German or Dutch.
Torches, or do they? The reason I'm asking is that I find it hard to believe, and I'm a little disappointed that. I find it hard to believe that there were no candles 200 years ago in the Netherlands. So they had accommodated this issue, right? So do we lose the societal knowledge of how to walk around on waxy floors in dumb wooden shoes?
Well, you only wear wooden shoes when you're outside doing farm work. That's what they're really for. They're like muck boots.
Songs, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what they're for.
So what you're saying to me is the lie is not that there was no candles 200 years ago, but that anyone wore these dumb shoes. The shoes are a lie. Okay.
Yes.
And the shoes are always a lie.
Dirty, lying Netherlanders.
I have to put a note.
That's what I'm taking away from this.
The shoes are a lie, so that can be.
No. Come on, we can't go all the way back to episode 40 and talk about Portal, man. Come on.
We're old school, man. So I think we're walking in on the 30-minute mark, gentlemen. Do we have anything else we want to get out there in the last couple minutes?
Let's see.
Psychic.
Saginaw Township man running for state house in 2020 says he's a government psychic whose real name is Senior Commander, Commando Legionnaire Kevin Christopher Seaman of the United States military.
Mm-hmm.
He is also
my vote.
federal agent. He's also federal agent White Knight 196. James Bond is 007. He is 196. James Bond was MI6 though, not the United States.
Imagine the size of his business card.
Oh, wow.
It's a whole sheet of paper. You know?
Yeah. He's like, here you go.
It's one of those non-standard things that you take at a conference, and you're like, thank you for this non-standard sized business card. What the hell do I do with this now? And then you can't immediately crinkle it up and throw it in the trash can because that's rude.
The good thing is, if you ask him what you're supposed to do with it, he would be able to tell you because he's psychic.
Well, I will say, I mean, this is an article that just keeps on giving. It says Seaman, that's his last name. I'm making a dirty joke. Seaman, 41, is a Democrat. Seaman said his ideas to create jobs in the state include creating an alliance with neighboring states like Indiana and Ohio to bring manufacturing jobs to the region. And you know, I'm like, you know,
alliance with Indiana.
Like they're going to give up their jobs to Michigan, you know.
Dude, Michigan is where it's at. Aren't you aware?
Yeah, but Ohio and Indiana don't feel the same way, you know.
Have you been to those states?
Ohio, yes. Indiana, I have driven through. So I know everything I need to know.
It's the crossroads of America.
Exactly.
They have like its whole purpose. Turnpike.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not kidding. They do call themselves the crossroads of America precisely because most people have driven through Indiana.
I think it's like I-40 intersects with what?
Are you just making up interstates?
Yes, at this point I am. I've only really driven I-80, you know, like crazy.
Riveting. I had to drive that thing back and forth from DC like 3 or 4 times this summer, so I have nightmare feelings about the Indiana Turnpike. Well, I hope that Mr. Lord General Commander Seaman is really able to make a difference for all of Michigan. We could use some help right now between our road situation, our Flint water situation, the dying of the entire auto economy, and the lack of tulip bulb bubble money that really Holland was banking on.
Yep. Got to get those tulip bulbs.
Yeah. All right, folks. It's time for us to shut down. Thank you for everybody for listening. Gentlemen, would you like to go around the rooms and say your farewells?
Goodbye.
Yeah, see ya.
So long.
See you guys next time.
I'd only say it's most likely the Air Water Stone that is the Libra logo. I looked it up.
I'm glad that you have that information, Chris. Thank you for listening to episode 355 of Geeks in Space. We will see you very soon. Fare thee all well.